Ron, I have a lion bite on my foot, and apparently you have a crocodile bite. Tell us about that crocodile bite.
Well, when I was still experimenting with small crocodiles, before I got the crocodile farming enterprise going in Rhodesia, I used to go into Lake Kariba. I was required to go into the fishing grounds in Lake Kariba, where the crocodiles used to go into the nets, catch their noses in the gill nets, and then spin around, and the net would wrap around the crocodile, and the crocodile would then drown under the water. And this was happening in the fishing grounds, where the Btonka had a serious business going, catching fish. That was their livelihood. And the district commissioner expected me to go down there and remove whatever crocodiles I could. And I shot some of the crocodiles and skinned them, and the other ones I captured. Anything up to 6 feet long, I was prepared to sit on it. I could catch a crocodile 6 feet long with my bare hands, but anything bigger than that was a little bit too big to handle. And I was out one day in the top end of the lake, and we picked up the eyes of a crocodile on this big pool of water on the side of the river, and there I could see this crocodile up on the bank with its tail in the water and its nose and shoulders and everything on the bank, almost as though it wanted to climb out the water. But it was just sitting on the edge of the water there. So we drew up in a motorboat, a small motorboat with an outboard motor, and going towards it, because I wanted to catch that one. It was just big enough for me to catch. It was about 6 feet long, and I thought, well, I can take that one. So we went up with the boat, slowly towards where it was. Now, what we'd found with crocodiles is, if you had approached them from the land and they were in shallow water like that, they would just turn around and go back into the deeper water. If you came in from the deeper water and then dropped into the water from there, and then walked up to the crocodile on the edge of the lake, then it sat there while you were going up to it, and then you just had to I used a towel more often than anything else, and approached it, and then you threw the towel over the top of its head, and then grabbed it behind its head like that and pressed it onto the ground, then sat on it. Then my trackers would get off the boat, and they would come and help me, and we would then tie its feet behind its back and its back feet behind above its tail, and then we'd dump it in the motorboat and bring it back to Bingo, which was where I lived, and put it into a pen there, because I was doing a lot of digestion experiments with the crocodiles then. And on this occasion, we went up by boat, and the water was fairly deep, so I couldn't see the bottom clearly. And I went up to this crocodile. We got very slowly up to it, and I could see it was getting restless, so I slipped off the front of the boat, and I dropped down so that my feet were on the ground underneath the water, deep down. It was fairly deep. And there was another crocodile underneath me, and I didn't even know it. And I slipped down, and I put my foot on its back, and it picked its head up, and it turned around, it slashed me on the foot and cut a slice out of my foot underneath all the toes like that, through the joint where the toes joined the foot like that. And there was blood everywhere. And then my trackers pulled me back on, and we let the other crocodile disappeared. So we lost out on that one that evening. But then I had to fiddle around for about 6 weeks getting my foot right, because I had the poisonous thing from the crocodile's teeth ripping into my foot. That's probably one of my more dangerous crocodile accidents.